6 months, 204 days. That's how long a British submarine crew just spent beneath the ocean waves without seeing sunlight, no windows, no fresh air, just steel walls and the same 130 faces every single day. And here's what nobody tells you. The food ran out weeks before they surfaced. Sailors were sharing rations. Medics were handing out caffeine tablets just to keep the crew alert enough to operate a nuclear-armed vessel. One mistake at those depths, and nobody's coming home. But this isn't about survival at the edge. This is about the daily grind that makes it possible. Right now, somewhere in the Atlantic or Pacific, American sailors are doing this exact same thing. Sleeping in beds still warm from the last guy's body heat, living on a schedule that was completely redesigned because the old one was breaking people. Let me show you why. Introduction. The United States Navy operates the most advanced submarine fleet on the planet. These aren't just ships that go underwater, they're mobile nuclear deterrents, intelligence-gathering platforms that can sit silent on the ocean floor for months at a time. And every single one of them runs on something that has nothing to do with the nuclear reactor humming in the back. It runs on routine. Because when you're 400 feet below the surface, there are no sick days. No calling in because you didn't sleep well. No stepping outside for fresh air when the walls start closing in. You show up for your watch, you do your job, you trust the guy next to you to do his, and you do it all over again. See, for over 50 years, American submariners lived on a schedule that made no sense to anyone on land. An 18-hour day, 6 hours on watch, 12 hours off. Sleep whenever your body could figure out what time it was, which it never really could. Scientists studied these sailors and found something disturbing. Their bodies were trying to maintain a 24-hour cycle while their schedules forced an 18-hour one. The result? Chronic sleep deprivation, mistakes during watch. Then in 2014, everything changed. The Navy mandated a switch to 24-hour schedules across the submarine force, 8 hours on watch, 16 hours off. For the junior officers who lived through both systems, they'll tell you it was life-changing. One commander said it straight. Guys complained less, stayed more alert. Morale shot through the roof. That's the kind of innovation that keeps American submariners at the top of their game. If you've got respect for what these sailors endure, type "proud" in the comments below. Let's show them they're appreciated. Section 1. The Space Reality. Here's a fact that'll make your studio apartment feel like a mansion. 1/3 of a submarine is the nuclear reactor and propulsion system. What's left for 130 people to live in? Not much. You sleep in a rack. Coffin-sized bunk, stacked 3 high with about 4 inches of clearance between your nose and the guy sleeping above you. There's a curtain for privacy. That's it. And if you're new to the boat, you might not even get your own rack. They call it hot racking. 2 guys, sometimes 3. 1 bunk. You work your shift. Your shift ends. You head to your rack. It's still warm from the last guy who just got up to start his shift. You don't think about it. You just sleep. Because in 6 hours, you're back on watch, and the submarine doesn't care if you're tired. 30 people share 2 showers, 2 toilets, 2 sinks. The shower rule is simple, 5 minutes max. Not because of some arbitrary rule, but because every drop of fresh water on that boat is made from seawater using the nuclear reactor's power. The desalination system can produce 40,000 gallons a day. But most of that goes to cooling computers and navigation equipment. So you get 5 minutes. You make it count. There are no windows. None. You could be under the Arctic ice or cruising through the Mediterranean. You wouldn't know the difference time stops meaning anything. Day and night blend together. Your only reference point is the watch schedule and the meals rotating through the galley. But American submariners have figured something out that makes this bearable. Routine. Structure. Because in an environment where everything is controlled, routine isn't boring. It's survival. Section 2. The Food Equation. 15,000 pounds of food. That's what gets loaded onto an American submarine before a 90-day patrol, about 110 pounds per sailor. Fresh food lasts 2 weeks. After that, you're into canned, dried, and frozen supplies. And here's where it gets interesting. Submarine food is legendary in the Navy. The Navy allocates 50 cents more per meal per man on a submarine compared to surface ships. Multiply that across 130 guys eating 4 meals a day for 3 months, and suddenly the galley can serve prime rib on Sunday's crab legs, lobster tail, fresh baked bread every single day. Why? Because good food is the one luxury these guys get. No Liberty ports for months, no stepping outside. But dinner? Dinner is an event. The galley is 8 by 10 feet, smaller than most American kitchens. 2 convection ovens, 1 fryer, 2 boiler pots, 1 griddle. 6 culinary specialists use this space to crank out 4 meals in 18 hours every day. Storage is a whole different challenge. The walk-in freezer is packed floor to ceiling with food organized exactly right. First meals in, last meals in the back. You can't dig around looking for something. The cooks know exactly where everything is. They have to. But here's what happened recently that shows just how critical food becomes that British submarine that spent 204 days underwater. Toward the end, they ran out. Sailors were sharing rations. Searching for leftover packets, medics started handing out caffeine tablets because hungry, tired sailors make mistakes. And on a nuclear submarine, mistakes are catastrophic. American submarines carry a 90-day supply with padding built in. Usually enough for 110 days if they stretch it. The Navy's gotten creative about resupply. They've tested delivering supplies by drone by helicopter, even by C-17 cargo plane doing an airdrop while the submarine surfaces in the middle of the ocean. Because food is the limiting factor, not the nuclear reactor, not the air systems. Food. When you run out, you surface. End of mission. Section 3. The watch system. Under the old 18-hour schedule, guys would go on watch at midnight one day and noon the next. Your body never adjusted. Scientists found submariners were essentially experiencing jet lag every single day. Shifting 6 time zones east with each watch rotation, submariners were getting about 6.5 hours of sleep per day. But it was broken up. One guy might sleep 4 hours, wake up for drills, sleep another 2 hours, grab a meal, sleep 1 more hour. The fragmentation wrecked sleep quality. You'd see guys on watch literally nodding off. That's dangerous. A submarine operates 24 hours a day in 3 dimensions: depth, speed, direction. Every station has to be sharp. One guy spacing out at the wrong moment and the boat could surface into a shipping lane, or drop below crush depth. When the Navy switched to 8-hour watches in 2014, something remarkable happened. Guys started sleeping at the same time every day. Their circadian rhythms aligned, performance improved. Accidents decreased. Morale shot through the roof. The American submarine force figured this out before anyone else. While other navies were still grinding their crews on outdated schedules, US submariners were getting better sleep, better focus, better everything. That's the kind of edge that wins wars before they start. Section 4. The unwritten rules. There's a code on submarines that nobody prints in a manual. You learn it by watching. Rule 1. Never talk politics. You've got 130 guys from every corner of America living in a tight space. What matters is the guy next to you does his job. You trust him. He trusts you. Politics divide people. Submarines need unity. Rule 2. Never slam a door. Someone is always sleeping. The boat runs 3 watches, which means a third of the crew is off watch trying to sleep at any given time. You slam a door, you just woke up 20 guys who have to be sharp for their next watch. Rule 3. 5-minute showers. It's not about conserving water for yourself. It's about the next 30 guys who need to shower before they can crawl into their racks. Rule 4. No complaining about the food. The culinary specialists work their tails off to feed you well. You don't like the meal? Keep it to yourself. Rule 5. Qualify fast. When you're new to a submarine, you're called a puke until you earn your dolphins. That means learning every system on the boat. Until you earn them, you're taking up space. Once you earn them, you're crew. These rules exist because the submarine is a closed system. You can't leave. You're stuck with each other for months. The only way that works is if everyone follows the code. And American submariners have perfected it. Section 5. The mental game. Month 1 is exciting. New mission, new patrol. Month 2 is when it starts. The sameness. The routine that felt comforting now feels like Groundhog Day. Same faces, same conversations, same meals on a rotating schedule. By month 3, guys are counting days. They're short timers, marking calendars in their racks, dreaming about fresh air, sunlight, family. Scientists who study submariners have found anxiety and depression rates are actually lower than you'd expect. but they do report physical symptoms: gastric problems, headaches, muscle pain. The body keeps score even when the mind stays tough. The isolation is real. These guys are completely disconnected from world events. Families can send 40-word messages once a week. That's it. 40 words. And anything bad, deaths, divorces, emergencies gets filtered out. Command decides you don't need to know. Not because they're cruel, but because you can't do anything about it anyway. And a distracted submariner is a dangerous submariner. The submariners who do best aren't necessarily the toughest guys, they're the optimistic ones, the ones with a sense of humor. The ones who can laugh at the absurdity of living in a tube underwater for months. Team cohesion is everything. These guys develop bonds stronger than most friendships on land. They've seen each other at their worst, exhausted, frustrated, homesick, and they keep showing up for each other. That's what makes it work. Section 6. The technology advantage. American submarines don't just go underwater, they make their own atmosphere. Every breath of air comes from seawater. The nuclear reactor powers electrolysis systems that split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. The result is air quality that's actually better than most cities. Fresh water works the same way. Seawater comes in, gets heated, salt separates out. You've got fresh water, up to 40,000 gallons a day. The nuclear reactor itself can run for 25 years without refueling. The only thing that limits how long an American submarine can stay submerged is food and the endurance of the crew. Navigation happens without GPS, can't use satellites underwater. Instead, inertial navigation systems track every movement. Computer programs calculate position based on where you started, and every motion since accurate to within feet after months at sea. American sonar technology is classified for good reason. It's that good. U.S. submarines can hear things other navies can't, track targets other navies miss. That technological edge keeps American submariners safe and American submarines lethal. Section 7. The bigger picture. The U.S. Navy runs 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, plus dozens of Virginia-class and Los Angeles-class fast attack boats. That's depth. That's redundancy. That's a submarine force that can sustain operations indefinitely without breaking the people who make it work. American submarines deploy for 60 to 90 days. Typically, ballistic missile boats might stretch to 120 days, but not 200. Never 200. Because the U.S. Navy understands something critical. Submarine warfare is a marathon, not a sprint. You can't burn out your crews. American submariners are consistently the best in the world. Not because they're tougher, but because the system supports them. Better schedules, better food, better technology, better training. And those people deserve recognition. They volunteer for this. Nobody makes you become a submariner. You raise your hand, you pass the screening, you earn your dolphins, and you spend years of your life in a metal tube under the ocean protecting American interests and American allies. Conclusion. 90 days, 3 months underwater, 3 months of routine that would break most people. Wake up, stand watch, train, eat, sleep, repeat. Same faces, same spaces, day after day. But American submariners don't see it as crazy. They see it as purpose. Protecting American interests, deterring aggression through strength. These sailors understand something most people don't. Peace isn't passive. Peace is maintained by people willing to spend months underwater in cramped conditions doing difficult work that nobody sees. The crazy part isn't the routine. It's that they volunteer for it, that they re-enlist, that they bring the next generation aboard and teach them the same standards, the same commitment to excellence. That's the crazy routine of submarine crews living underwater for 90 days. Except it's not crazy at all. It's dedicated, disciplined, professional. And it's happening right now somewhere beneath the waves, with American sailors doing what they do best, keeping us safe. If this gave you a new appreciation for what these sailors endure, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the people who serve. They deserve our respect, and they're out there right now making it look easy.